Austin Ekeler joins us here live at Chargers training camp, and I want to get to your project of the day in a moment, but another year, raised expectations, and yet there's still got to be a little bit of the taste in your mouth of stuff left on the field last year. Where are you kind of emotionally heading into the season?
Yeah, well, first off, I want to say thanks for having me on. And, for all 31 teams that don't win, the Super Bowl, there's always a little something left on the field as far as the end goal. But, you give it all regardless of, how far you make it. And so I'm pretty proud of myself for being able to do that last year and give everything I could to this team and looking to just better myself and show more consistency, because that's where I think all of us can really grow. A lot of great players out here. It's been a great camp so far, but now it's building that chemistry, building that consistency, and building on what we built last year with the same coaching staff coming back that really helps us out.
I think as fans, we look back at the Raider game and we think of only the last couple of plays, right? And how crazy that was in terms of were they running out the clock, kicking the field goal, the timeout, etc. As a player and a guy who – have you watched the game?
The last Raider game?
Yeah.
Yeah, I lived it.
I know you lived it, but
yeah.
Okay. So first, when you think about that game, what do you think about?
I just think, man, I remember a moment in the game where it was like my coach, Derek Foster, he looks at me, he's like, man, we got to go again. I just remember that moment. I was like, I'll go until I can't walk. Like that's the feeling that we had on the field. Like we're in this. It's a battle. We're going to continue to go as far as we need to go, as far as we can go. And so being in that moment and trying to even replicate a moment like that, I've never had a game where I just felt so into it because of what we were doing and the things that we were accomplishing and staying in it and making sure when all doubts were against us, we're still hanging in there, man.
Fourth down.
I know. And so just being with the team, I think that built a lot of chemistry in us and a lot of trust in what we're doing as a coaching staff to know that, hey, even if we're down, we're still going to have a chance at the end because we were able to fight through stuff.
What was Herbert like in those huddles?
Yeah, so, he's the same. He was the same. He's poised. He's always going to be, just locked in, saying the plays, breaking the huddle, and he's locked in. Not much emotion, anything like that. He's going to be on his stuff always. That's what I've learned from him. And I think he'll grow. He'll grow as a leader as he continues to be around. I've just been from my career with Phillip Rivers, who's been there 17 years, in the league, to someone who's new. And so I've seen the different type of leadership and the understanding of the game. And J. Herb, he's going into I think this is year 3 for him now, so he's got a lot of growth still left, but looking forward to being on that journey with him.
Coach Staley goes for it. I'm the go for it guy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And sometimes you're sitting there scratching your head. You're like, I can't believe he's going for it. In that huddle, what's it like when you're going for it?
Man, so we've learned, all right, he is the go for it guy, and I think it's a testament to how he believes in us, because he's got to have the players to go do that. If he doesn't believe in us on the field, he's not going to be going for it. He's going to be playing it a little bit more conservative, right? We're really aggressive. And I think, he's seen what we have on the field as far as the players that can make plays on a consistent basis. So he's like, yeah, I trust my guys to go get 4 yards, to Keenan to get open, for Mike to catch a slant and make it run. Or if we need, 1-2 yards, we'll give it to Eck. He's going to find a way up in there. And so, we love it. We love it at this point. It's almost a love-hate relationship, because you know how it is, especially for the fans. I know they have a love-hate relationship with it, where it's like, if we don't get it, everyone is, roaring, jawing, but when we get it, we're the heroes, like, oh my God, we love this team, So for us, every down we're on the field, we're trying to make the best of it.
There's a lot of guys you can bring in that'll help kind of change the dynamic. But to bring in Khalil Mack, who was on the other side against you guys going back with the Raider days. What is that like for him now to be in your circle?
Yeah, man, he's already been making an impact. Just even in the first week of training camp, I've been seeing him. He's been disrupting our run game, and so we've had to continue to come up with a plan. All right, this guy, he's going to jump around. He's gonna try to play the way he plays, and we've been noticing that. And, just when you have someone on both edges that teams have to deal with, I know even for us, we have to scheme our week differently. It's like we got to make sure we're nudging these guys with tight ends, chipping our guys, so it changes the whole game plan. It's not saying that it's an advantage or disadvantage of chipping or changing the game plan, but it just makes people plan for it, because that, hey, you have to account for these werewolves on the edges.
Ever since you made it in the league, you've made it a point to do things off the field. You even go back to the pandemic when you're doing, stay-at-home workout videos.
Right.
Today I know that the Crossroads football team, they needed some equipment.
Yeah.
So how does it actually get to you where you get involved?
Yeah, so I have my foundation. It's the Austin Ekeler Foundation. And what we do is we implement resources back into communities that are lacking. And we want to do that to provide opportunities for just people. It's not necessarily always kids, but in this case, we were with the Crossroads Tigers, which is actually an organization run by a police department to bridge the gap between, first-time interactions with police and actually yourself as a citizen. And they reached out to us through our application process saying, hey, we're in need of some equipment. Could you help out? And it's a perfect project for what we were trying to do and give back to the community. So we bought them all new helmets, shoulder pads for their program for this year.
Your body, you take care of your body at a level that is even above most every other guy on this football field. What have you done differently this year? You do look leaner to me than you have in previous years.
Yeah.
You lose weight, change diet, what you do?
So, I'm still around the same weight, but I'm definitely a little bit leaner. I'm still weighing in at 197 consistently, but it's just a little bit more muscle. And I've dropped my body fat a little bit more. But it's been the same thing for me, just continuing to work out. I don't know if it's, I'm getting older, I'm starting to mature a little bit more. Your body goes through changes as you go over through the years. I've definitely been continuing my workouts, and actually I moved trainers, so that might have had an effect on it.
What's the difference in this trainer as opposed to previously?
Previously I've never had a trainer. I didn't have a trainer during the offseason. I always did it myself. And so maybe there's a little bit more accountability when it came to working with the trainer.
So take me through the process of deciding to get one. Like, did somebody go hey, man, you should?
No, man. So I basically I have my app. I have my foundation. I have a lot of just endorsement things that I'm going, and so I have a lot of efforts that are being put off the field, and so I wanted to make sure that I was getting what I needed to get in as far as my body, and so that's where that started to come into play.
Okay, and so what's the process like of then deciding who to pick?
Yeah, so actually had someone reach out to me, and I was going to a gym by myself again called the Dragon's Lair out in Las Vegas, and then I had someone reach out to me, and I was like, let's see where their gym is. It was right next to my house. I was like, okay, I'm going to go check it out. And then sure enough, this guy, we clicked in the mind as far as our outlooks on life were very similar, and so then I stuck with him, and it's been great ever since.
All right. Well, listen, obviously